For tuning in, everybody, and welcome again to the Rob and Mike Show. Hey, as always, that's Rob.
That's Mike.
And we are just so happy to have you guys here again. Again, as always, thank you so much for your support. Thanks for tuning in this week. We really appreciate it. It's Mother's Day!
Woo!
All right. Happy Mother's Day to all. Happy Mother's Day to my mom, Darlene. I love you. Happy Mother's Day
to my mom, Laura, a.k.a. Shorty.
We wouldn't obviously be here without you, so thank you so much, and we appreciate you on this day. It actually happens to be today. We are, of course, we're recording this for Mother's Day. Today happens to be my mom's birthday. So, directly, happy birthday to you, Mom.
Mwah.
This is, so, cool thing, I decided it was Mother's Day, so... As you may notice, I am wearing my pajamas, but the reason I did that was because I'm like, what does mom mean? And I think mom for so many people signifies like kind of the
home.
It's home, right? It's like that home, that comfort, that relaxed thing.
Yeah.
And so I'm in pajamas because Mother's Day makes me feel like relaxed and at home, and nothing says Mother's Day to me more than a lazy boy and some pajamas. So that's what I decided. You look great. I love these new kicks. I'm so excited for your... So you guys, coming up soon, Rob is actually going to be doing, we're doing the end of life segments. Rob is actually going to be doing a show for all of you sneaker files out there, because he is a king of sneaker fileness.
Yes, as most of you already know, I'm a huge sneakerhead. Really excited to go over my collection, talk about ones that are special to me, and in the past month or so, completely added to my collection. Got some great shoes, and this is the debut of these shoes. I've had them for a while now, but this is the first time I've had the chance to wear them out. It worked perfectly with my ensemble today, so,
These soles look like they're intended to glow in the dark.
They do, but they don't. And I kind of like them because they're gym shoes, but they got like that 70s, like, kind of platformy thing to them. But anyways... I
am excited. I'm super excited for that end of life segment. So I was going to talk about, so let's see. So it's Mother's Day, and so you guys, what are some of the, down in the comments, I think, what are some of your Mother's Day traditions? I remember having a really great Mother's Day because, I know a lot of us do, like the Mother's Day brunch, and there's like the Mother's Day cruises and things like that people like to go on. I remember it was a really great day. We did the Arboretum in Chicago, so the big botanical garden thing. And they have a brunch that is in the big botanical garden.
In Navy Pier.
No, actually, no. This is the one that's out by Brookfield Zoo.
Oh, yes. Okay, yes. Oh, wow, I forgot.
Yeah. And so that was super, super great. I super enjoyed that. That was so much fun. We did that with my son's mom and my mom, and that was just a great time. Really enjoyable. Like, and that's the other thing. Like Mother's Day is always it's flowers and and it's sunshine. It's almost like it's that first sort of like really family spring. Yeah. I know you've got Easter, but like Mother's Day is like I feel like
it's a little more special.
It's a little bit more. I know it sounds weird to say that Mother's Day is more special than Easter, but I think we spend more time with our families on Mother's Day than we do on Easter. I think Easter is sort of like an obligatory visit to church.
Yeah.
Whereas Mother's Day is like
I think I can say this because by the time this airs, it won't be a spoiler. So I will unfortunately be flying out on Mother's Day, but before Mother's Day, I will be able to see my mom. So when this airs, it won't be a spoiler because she doesn't know it yet that I'm flying out the beginning of May. And so I'll see my mom on the 8th. Unfortunately, I fly out on the 9th, which is part of the reason that we're filming this today because I won't be here to film. So we're getting this, making this video in time to be released around on that Sunday or Monday.
So by the time that Laura actually sees this, she will have had a Mother's Day in person. So
yes, she will.
Very, very cool. Which is hard, when you live, and I think we both do. We both, I live a couple thousand miles away from my mom, and I know that you're almost that far. You're a good 1,500 miles away from your mom as well. And so it's nice to be able to take those trips, and Mother's Day, and when you don't live with them, Mother's Day becomes even more significant and things like that. I know I'm not going to be seeing my mom as soon as you are. I think I'm not going to see my mom. Excuse me. Not going to sneeze.
There we go. Hold it in. Okay, never mind.
Or that can happen.
2 times on the good foot.
Okay, 3 is good luck. Well, there you go. All right. So, And I'm going to see my mom in August, so I'm pretty excited about that.
That's really exciting.
We had a couple of road trips this year, but I think we're going to
definitely go back and see her.
I think I'm actually going to bring my mom to Seattle in August. I think that...
Oh, you just want to fly her out here. That would be nice. And I like to say, because not only do we have our lovely mothers, definitely growing up, I like to say a big happy Mother's Day to all my other mothers, the lovely women who helped raise me besides my mom.
The incomparable Carmen.
The incomparable Carmen. Shout out, I don't know if she's no longer with us. Carol Rose. I know that's a name you haven't heard in a while.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Ma Harris. Definitely want to do a shout out there.
Good to see you.
And then definitely to all my wonderful female friends who are mothers, and a big happy Mother's Day to you, to people I consider my family, my sisters from another mister. I appreciate you guys very much, and this is also a very happy Mother's Day to all of you also.
Yes. And for me, happy Mother's Day, of course, to my mom and my son's mom and my wife, to, you know, my sister-in-law and mother-in-law and all this. Happy Mother's Day to all of you mothers that are doing work. I am always... Okay, so this is, I have to touch the controversy point. And it's not, I don't know that it's necessarily like controversial, but you know, like every year, there's this thing where we have to do either the moms that are doing double duty or the dads that are doing double duty. And it's, you know, happy Mother's Day to the dads that are doing mom's job. And it's, you've got a day. I don't, like, is that me? Am I only one that's just like, you've got a day? Do we have to do that? I get being a single mom is hard. I get being a single dad is hard.
Yeah, and
I'm not saying that you're not like doing a lot.
And I do appreciate a lot of the women who I do have friends who have and still do the double duty as basically mother and father. Mm-hmm. But I think everyone deserves to get to have their day. I sometimes will privately acknowledge female friends who do both and acknowledge male friends who do both. But on this specific day, I will say Happy Mother's Day. On that,
right, Father's to the moms, Day, right? Like, you jump in on that. You know, I'm talking like when you jump in and you say, you know, yeah, it's Mother's Day, but you know, happy Mother's, you know, happy double duty day to the dads that are out there doing it on their own. And it's like, well, that's what Father's Day is for. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, that's, you know, I'm not saying don't do it. I mean, you know, I get it. I just personally, I'm like, you have a day, like. The double up doesn't. I don't know. Maybe it rings of insincerity to me.
Yes, for some reason. I can see that. And but it is a day. I mean, because let's be honest. As much as you are a father, and thank God I'm not. The world knew better.
Well, let's wait for that 2030 video.
So, hey, don't put that.
We just got the notification that the results are on the way, Gar. So that show's going down.
But you know. Yes, it takes two people to create a baby, but in the long run, none of us are here without our mothers. I mean, because they're the ones.
Right, you cannot do it without you. Yeah, this equation requires a womb.
Yeah, so you know, I think that's a little bit why Mother's Day is, I think, celebrated more than Father's Day. And I don't.
Well, I mean, and there's, you know, if you go just like, I agree with you. And I mean, if you just go back to, like you said, if you're just dealing with like basic biology, I mean, we could, you know. No offense, guys. I mean, like we're just really not that important. I mean, you know, we can do a lot, you know, and we're useful for a lot of things. You know, like my wife does not like to pick up poop in the yard, so that's, you know, but that's your job really as a male. Like they don't need you to, like, women do not need us to continue the population, right?
No,
like they could get rid of like 90% of us and be totally fine.
Yes.
You know, this keep their, and I think that's probably the thing. You know, when you talk about like misogyny and like male fear of like women and like, you know, that whole thing. You know, the reality of it is I think most men at the back of their minds are fully aware that, like, you know, women do not need us. We are here to pick up heavy things and clean up poop. I think,
that's only depending on your relationship dynamic. There's some women who are just like, move.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything. Get out of my way.
You know, unlike you, you're crafty, so I know your wife was glad that you can build and do all that. I'm living in the suburbs of Seattle, but we all know I'm a city boy. But the thing is that you have your uses too, because I can't go shopping with, like, my wife won't take me shopping, but like your significant other and you would have a great day shopping together. Yes.
I'm like,
Which is, I think, actually the one time I did go shopping with your wife, it was a great time, because she was like, oh, someone who will actually, like, you know.
Right, who cares?
Michael was like, wait, you want to go with my wife to go I don't have to do that. And I was like, Woo! Let's
I'm
go.
gonna go clean my garage. Yes.
And actually, it was one, and a lot of my female friends will attest to this who watch it. I was the friend in high school who would go with the female friends to go shopping because I love shopping, and their boyfriends didn't, so they would be like, "Let's go." Angela, you know how many times we did that together, so I'm calling you specifically on that one. My boyfriend doesn't want to go. Okay.
And I think, you know, and again, it's all about, like, you know, again, like my mom, and that's the thing I definitely picked up. My mom is not a shopper.
Mm-mm.
My mom does not dig it. She is just like, my mom's like, she does it like me. She's like, well, let's see, I need some clothes. Okay, I'm gonna go shopping. I'm gonna spend like $300 or $400, and that's my year. I'm good. I'm done now. You know. That's what I do. Like, I think maybe like twice a year I'll go out and I'll just be like, here's a big shopping trip because I'm out. And my shopping trips are usually spurred on by something like essential, right? Like, I'm never just like, man, I really want to freshen my wardrobe. I'm like, man, I don't actually have any non-holy underwear. I should go shopping. Or it'll be like
all my button-up shirts have disappeared or been ruined, or
Here's
the dog, or
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the crazy. I will fully admit to this, and you know how bad I am with stuff like this. But I literally have in my closet right now, like a bag of brand new clothes that my wife went and bought me that are really nice. They're really nice. Really, but
we have just. I mean, we're not fully open, but also she got those clothes when the world shut down.
Yeah, no, totally. Right. No, it's like, I don't have anywhere to wear this. I have no reason.
Oh, that's why I'm starting, like, I've just now started.
It is nice that, like, now that we have COVID, okay, for the next episode, I'm going to put on some new clothes.
Okay.
I'm going to go open one of those bags and wear a brand new shirt.
Yes, and if he doesn't go shopping, as a lot of you know,
I'll go shopping at Cabela's.
And then, you know, he gets a lot of cool stuff from me also. Especially
I do. I just like hang out and wait for people to give me cool stuff. I'm like, oh, I really like that. That's how I shop. People are like, Mike never goes shopping. Let's get him clothes. I'm like, perfect.
Well,
that's my gift. If you're gonna get me gifts, like this, like if you were ever like, what should I get, Mike? Gift certificates for clothing are good. You could just go ahead and buy something. If I don't like it, I'll take it back. But probably I'll wear it because that means I don't have to go shopping for it.
That's why I just buy
Cabela's.
That's why I buy you shoes a lot and stuff for your birthday. Because I will spend them, and I will spend the money for you.
Yes.
For you to have shoes. But anyways, we've got off.
No, but so that was totally like, my mom is not a shopper. Your mom, I think, is probably a little bit more shopping. But you get that from your dad. Your dad is a shopper.
Well, my dad's a shopper, and also I get, because my father was a teacher for so long, my dad, to this day, his closets are color coordinated, is why I am very much about color coordination. And also doesn't hurt that he used to do costumes for shows, so he had to learn, you know.
But your dad is very for, like, and you don't, I like, without sounding like weirdly, like, but your dad is very, like, he's very, like, mushroom belt with mushroom on the inside of the shirt. Like, your dad is very matchy, like, all the time.
Yes.
And, like,
this is why
which is so weird because, like, my dad's totally like that too.
Yeah.
Like, my dad matchy all the time.
Yeah.
Super, like, outfits. Like, my dad was a put out your outfit before the day. Like, I'm always dressed kind of guy.
Ironing your clothes every day.
And not married to those kinds of women. Right?
No.
Like, my mom is not a, like, put out my clothes, dressy kind of. My mom's very, like, chill. I'm very much like my mom. My mom's like, yeah. I don't know.
Only time that I knew my mom was dressy is when she was working downtown as a receptionist at some big firm, and that was before I was born. I knew that she would get dressy for that, but that was because it was the profession she was in, and you know what it's like working in downtown Chicago in those kind of offices. You've got to, you know, you can't. Even me, I'm coordinated, but you can't be showing up like this.
Right. There are certain things that you just can't. Right?
Yeah.
So all right. So really cool. So tell me. So give me your favorite mom story. This is your favorite mom, my mom, your favorite story of your mom.
Favorite story of my, wow, that's tough.
Or the first one that comes to your mind.
Well, it's obviously because what she did was theater, so like, it's just like performances. Actually, one of my favorite moments with my mother, and this is a test to people who hone their craft and are professional. So my mom was doing a show at ITC, back home where we're from, of August Wilson's Fences, which is one of my all-time favorite plays. Mm-hmm. And the power went out in the theater. And everyone froze for a while, but then the floodlights came on.
Okay.
And they continued the show, and it was like watching Raising in the Sun or To Kill a Mockingbird. It looked like you were watching a live black and white movie because they were on stage and all you had,
and they're just in the emergency lights.
In the emergency lights.
Oh wow!
And that was just so, like, even talking about it, just it was just
yeah.
I mean, like, I know people are professional, but I was just like,
but that's just a great performance moment. Yeah,
I was just like, well, hot. It was really cool. Otherwise, some of my favorite memories of with my mom is growing up because of her doing a lot of summer stock. Is going on the road with her as a kid. Like, school would be over. We head up to Michigan, where the Barn Theater, which I don't know is still around, and it was actually where I got my first paying gig was there, and it was like those summers. It was the road trip summers of like my mom just being in Michigan or being in Ohio or being in Door County,
doing shows,
and it was just fun because it'd be me and her, and a lot of times that's how I learned how to be a little bit of a better actor because I was watching professionals all the time, and if they wasn't watching them, they would put me in the shop, and they were like, "Here's a just saw something." Like
cool.
we don't care if it's perfect. Yeah. They're like, because they knew me, I wasn't going to mess around. Yeah. So,
but here's some involvement for you.
Here's some involvement. Yeah. So, like, being on the road with my mom, and then eventually not only be on the road with her because it was summer I was with her, was being on the road with her, and then either in the shows with her or many times just doing tech for the shows and stuff like that. When I was in Michigan, Albion, I remember I came and visited you. I was doing Foul Spot for a show. Wow. And so, wrote the summer road trips with Mom when she was doing theater.
Yeah. Very cool. So I have a couple my favorite story about my mom is it's weird. It's like a story. It's kind of it's a building block of who I ended up becoming. And so I must have been 10 or 11. I was 10 or 11. We hadn't moved yet, so I hadn't hit 12, but I was fairly older, and I was always really, really into like PBS, right? And my mom was really big on like having me be in the kitchen. So like from a really early age, like I got really, really familiar with being in the kitchen and doing stuff and cooking and things like that. To which I still to this day, I mean, I love to cook, and it's one of my kind of, this is part of me. It's what I do. But there's a great story. So this is part of me becoming a cook, and so I get home from school. No one's home yet. I'm latchkey at that point. And I let myself in the house, and I start, I just do my normal afternoon. I start watching PBS, and I remember I watched like Yan Can Cook, and because I didn't just watch cartoons. I literally went home. I watched the Frugal Chef or the Frugal Gourmet, which was Jeff Smith, and then I watched Yan Can Cook, and then the other thing, Julia Child was on. Yeah. Like the whole they had this like bang 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 of like cooking shows. And so Jeff Smith does this thing where he takes this roast and makes this thing and everything. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, man, I've got all those ingredients. And so I'm like, I decide I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna surprise everybody, and they're gonna come home to this like amazing like roast dinner, right? I'm like, I've got this, man. And and at the time, like you never think about it when you're a kid, right? But like as an adult, when I look back, I'm like, man, and I'm not saying that like this is like, oh my god, this is a lot of money. But at the time, I'm thinking that like in comparison to like what we pay for meat, right? Like imagine that like your kid like just decided they were going to take like a $25 roast that you just bought, and you're just like going to go for it, right? And that's really what it was, right? And so I take this like big giant roast that my mom's got like in the fridge, which I don't know, it's probably like for a weekend thing or something like that. But I grab it, and I'm watching Jeff Smith, and I'm trying to and the show ends, and I'm trying to remember everything that he does, right? And I put it in the oven, and my mom gets home, right? And I have burnt the living
out of this
roast. This roast, I mean, it's not burnt, but it's just it is dry.
Yeah,
it is cooked at the wrong temperature, seasoned improperly. Like, just, it's a dry hunk of meat. And so, in essence, I've ruined this really, really expensive, like, cut of meat. And my mom comes in, and my mom does not get mad. And my mom looks and she goes, well, here's what you did wrong. And so my mom, instead of getting angry that I like just messed up her kitchen and ruined a bunch of meat, my mom decides that she's going to turn this into a cooking lesson, and she shows me how to take like a jacked up roast and turn it into like, you know, basically like chipped beef and gravy. You know?
Okay, yeah. So to salvage
what we're going to do is this is how you salvage this. You take some cream of mushroom gravy and you chop this up and you roll it on, and we'll put some rice and roll it on, and now we've got, you know, an incredibly expensive, you know, chipped beef. And I'm like, oh, like, you know, I learned.
But it's a learning lesson.
But it was really great, and that was like this really moment. I've held that memory because it was this really great moment with my mom, and I was like so like I am dead. I am in so much.
But I think in that moment, like it's the patience that you have to have a parent is like, man, my kid really tried to like cook a meal for me, and it didn't work. So let me show him how to do it. And because of that, and I will attest to it. I've had Mike's cooking.
I'm not too shabby.
I've had this man when we've been at our lower lows come up and somehow with Taco Bell hot sauce and like some Fritos and make hot tortilla soup. So
it's so funny. My wife goes so she's like I get home and she's like, I'm hungry. What are we gonna do for dinner? I'm like, I don't know. I was like, go in the kitchen and I come back and she's like, well, where are we gonna go? And I'm like, I got it on the stove. And she's like, there was nothing in there. And I'm like, oh.
Yes, there is.
You didn't open the freezer and the cabinets, did you?
Hey, you learn. And the only reason why I'm even I don't even want to call myself a cook. How I know how to prepare and make meals is, yes, some of my parents, but it was mostly living with you because I learned how to make meals out of nothing. Like having to go to the dollar store to get noodles to make, you know.
Right, and I think that was a cool thing. Like, you know, neither one of us, we didn't grow up poor.
No,
but we grew up with parents that, like, had to cook and that were thrifty and, like, weren't, like, you know, we didn't, like, go out to eat. Like, we went out to eat, like, once a month, like, right on payday, like normal people.
Like,
you know?
My mom would cook, but, like, our thing was, and which we talked about was, we're spending money, it's me and mom going to the movies.
Right.
So that was our, and now there was the two of us, but, like, my dad, who, when he got remarried, and Diane, where we are, didn't mean to forget about you, Happy Mother's Day,
Happy Mother's Day.
They were trying to feed my dad, my stepmom, and sometimes
you guys had a grip,
on a teacher's salary back in 1988.
No, seriously. So there was, you know, there was all these really great skills that I think that my mom handed like down to me as far as like kitchen stuff and things like that. So that's one of the things. So I'm going to give my quick list and then we got to get out of here and then you can give yours. But like, so thank yous. So for my mom, hi mom, thank you for teaching me patience. Thank you for being patient and giving me the time to learn things on my own and the guidance when I needed it. Thank you for having a gentle hand and kind of guiding me in a sort of I don't know. You did a great job of guiding me and turning me into, I think, what is a kind of a cool. I'm a cool person. I thank you for that, and so thank you for all of that, and thank you for. I've never had a moment in my life where I wasn't like, you know, kind of warm and safe and fed and all of that good stuff. So I appreciate everything that you've done, and happy Mother's Day.
And Mom, I want to say thank you. I know I made things tough from the day I got here. It was a rough start. I'm glad I made it. I'm glad that you stuck with me. I'm glad you introduced me to a different world of having such a unconventional childhood, which has made me a more worldly person, to enjoy the arts, to enjoy music, to try to be more empathetic to the world because of your caring and your love. Thank you for, like Mike said, just always feeling loved and always feeling cared for and always knowing that you're just a phone call away if I need you no matter what day or night. And also the fact, Mama, and I know you're going to say it, and when I talk to you next week, I don't mind that. I don't care that I'm almost 46 years old. You can talk to me like I'm 7, and I'm going to eat it up because I love it and I love you. And thanks for having me.
So happy. I almost forgot. Also, Mom, thank you very much for your activism. Okay. Anyway, so you guys, drop some comments. Tell us what some of your favorite memories of your mom are. If we forgot anybody, make sure you throw it down in the comments too and say Happy Mother's Day to them. Again, Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we didn't say it a whole bunch this time, but hey, don't forget to subscribe. Right now, do it. And hey, you know what? Make sure, and if you guys want, hey, when we send out posts, it's really, really cool if you guys share our posts too. So if you guys are on our Facebook page and you see our video, just go ahead and click share. It kind of shares it with people that you know, and it just gets us in front of more people. So if you already have clicked subscribe, you can go ahead and click share and share some of our coolness with the people that you know. We would really appreciate it, and I think your friends will appreciate it too. So, again, thanks so much. As always, that's Rob.
That's Mike.
And hey, we'll see you next time. Peace!